Fanone, how are you today?
Oh, I'm great.
What happened in there?
What are you talking about?
That confrontation.
Jack Smith testified about how he had proof beyond reasonable doubt that Donald Trump incited, orchestrated, and funded the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6, 2021.
It seemed like there was a fight in there.
No, there was no fight.
Is it true, Officer Fanone, that you turned off your own body camera on January 6th?
No.
I saw your body cam. You turned it off yourself. You were playing dead. I saw your body cam footage.
You're a fucking
What am I?
right-wing conspiracy theorist.
I saw you turn off your body cam footage, sir, but thank you for disrespecting me. Psychopath.
We actually heard from Benny Thompson on the way into and out of this ceremony at the Capitol. It was to award congressional gold medals to police officers who were at the Capitol on January 6th. Afterward, Mike Fanone, who, as we all probably know now, was beaten by the mob, says he was heckled in very profane terms by members of his own department. He says members of the Special Operations Division told him he was a disgrace, that he didn't belong at the ceremony, although the words he said they used were much more colorful.
What did I tell you the other day, folks? This guy is flaming out hard. Someone called me about this a few days ago, and then MSDNC now confirms it. I'm hoping that there is a cell phone vid that captured all of this, because I heard that his meltdown was epic. What I didn't know was that it was actual cops that were fisting him. Raw. That makes me extremely proud of my former profession. What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Shots Fired podcast with DP. I am your host, Despop, aka Jay Semino. Today is 11 Feb 2026, and just as yesterday, not a single fucking person has been arrested and charged with a single crime that we voted for in the last presidential election. I'll be sure to let you know when that happens. But Director Vindaloo did have his retarded goons round up a delivery driver and kick his mother's door in for no fucking reason, it seems. This is the same FBI that told my former department in Providence, Rhode Island, that the Brown University campus shooter was at a hotel in Coventry, Rhode Island, while simultaneously posting a suspect apprehended, stealing credit after Providence made the grab, only to realize they had the wrong guy. My former PD doesn't need any help looking like boobs, and they wrongly took all the heat for that headline when it was all on Director Molaram and his Twitter handlers. Why do I loathe the FBI? Well, it wasn't always this way. I never held them in high regard, but my work, especially after I moved to homicide, it often led me to either seek the assistance of the feds, or sometimes they would even seek my help. I assisted or sought assistance from all big government agencies, the FBI, ATF, and even the Secret Service. And I found the FBI especially to often be nothing but posers. I never got that vibe from the others. For those that don't know, banks are federally insured, and because of that, the FBI is supposed to handle all bank robberies. Guess how many bank robberies they took off my hands? A local agent would often show up, but upon realizing that there weren't any circumstances that would make for a decent headline, they wouldn't touch it. This was long before Mr. Bug Eyes took over. It's the same fucking FBI as it always was. That's not what you or I voted for. And if that is MAGA, well, fuck MAGA. Consider me blackpilled. They just want the popcorn fart headline. Nothing more. One bank robbery of mine that comes to mind was when a bank got hit first thing in the morning. I responded and started the process of interviewing witnesses, and I typically immediately get to work on the video. I try to get it out to the street cops as soon as possible to start the hunt in case the suspect's still in the area. The local FBI guy always shows up to get the rundown, and he did that in this circumstance. Just a note pass, X amount taken, no gun shown, no one assaulted, suspect fled. Well, he turns to me, as they always do, and he says, "You all set with this?" That means you're going to handle this, right? As in, the FBI isn't fucking interested. They're looking for the complete bank takeover, the LA-style shootout scenario. They want 3 suspects with machine guns, rounds fired into the ceiling, everybody get on the fucking ground, bank president taken as hostage. Basically, what they're looking for is Hollywood script type stuff, the headline grabbers. So this FBI douchebag dumps the call on me and runs off to finish his breakfast, or maybe a round of golf that was interrupted when the call came over. I don't know. About 30 minutes later, a tracker placed within the stash starts going off. Just as I release the photos to the street cops, he's tracked one city over. I give the general location that the ping is coming from, and the area is soon flooded with popo, and he's recognized entering a store and nabbed. All the money is recovered and he's brought in. Well, I'm still at the bank when the FBI fuckface monitors our radio system, hears all this, and races back to the bank not to take the case, just to ask me to list him as having responded to the bank in my report narrative. Then the Hoover building goes on to take credit for the fucking grab. Our local news rag doesn't even report our work. If you haven't been paying attention, folks, this is what they've always done. It's still happening to this day. This is something that should have changed, but instead it's been turned up tenfold. No other FBI director has been so quick to steal credit for the work of street cops and city detectives than this current fuck running the show. Remember the immediate announcement of the apprehension of Charlie Kirk's killer? Turns out it was just a pedophile. Remember a few days later when they got the right guy? Who took the credit? Would you be surprised that Charlie Kirk's killer is facing state charges, not federal? Charges brought by local detectives? The fucking kid confessed to his parents, who brought him into the police station. Not the FBI office, the local PD, and he turned himself in. Director Kalima and his agents had absolutely nothing to do with it. Whenever this douchebag puts out a tweet, I urge you to look deeper into whatever case he's talking about, whatever case he's taking credit for. You will often, if not always, find that the entire case was investigated and solved by local cops, with charges later upgraded to the federal level. The FBI often has absolutely nothing to do with it. They take the work of real cops and hijack it for the headline. You've heard failed former Deputy Director Hairline speak of the massive drop in murders across the country. He took credit for that. Kash Patel took credit for that. Folks, the FBI doesn't investigate homicides. The FBI does absolutely nothing that you can directly relate to the prevention of homicides. There is no correlation. The entire agency is a total fraud. But getting back to Captain Hairline, the reason for the big grab and the news buzz it generates is simple. All Kash Patel and his predecessors are interested in is funding, period. Full stop. And when they go to Congress to grovel for more coin, they need to point out the buzz created by big headlines in order to prove the necessity for increased spending. They walk into those hearings with a massive portfolio of headlines. That's it. How many times have you seen a tweet from this current FBI in which a federal conviction was obtained? It's almost every fucking day if you're paying attention. Here's something you may not know, you MAGA dipshits, to borrow a phrase from your hero Dan Bongina. This current FBI administration hasn't been in charge long enough to claim credit for a conviction. It takes forever to get a case to trial. If you see an ex-post bragging about a federal conviction, that case was brought under the former FBI. It has nothing to do with the current administration. But I don't see Kash giving Christopher Wray credit for the successful arrest and prosecution of any case. But I guarantee you, as soon as the money starts to run dry, he'll be before Congress showing his ex-post claiming credit for convictions that the former FBI administration, along with agents that were on the job prior to this asshole, are responsible for. And he's going to drop those headlines on the member of Congress and say, pay me. It's a fucking scam, folks. These guys are totally useless, and the entire agency needs to be defunded and disbanded. How many of you MAGA retards said hoorah last week when he held a press conference along with the HUA AG to brag about some low-level nitwit connected to the Benghazi attacks being arrested? Is that what you voted for? I thought you voted for the person most responsible for the 4 Americans killed in Benghazi to be brought to justice. How fucking stupid and cowed are you people? Does that make me black-pilled, Dan? Does that somehow make me an anti-Semite, Dan? I don't know how you make that leap, but whatever. Actually, I do know how you got there. Yep. Cool story, bro. And please get hair implants or shave your fucking head. You look ridiculous. So, thank you for tuning in to the first ever volume of the FBI Files by DP. Much, much more to follow. Now it's time for a little fun. Let's pivot into the right side of history. What is that, you ask? This is the show where I search the interwebs for examples of those who insist they're on the right side of history. A side we should all strive to be on. So, come along on my journey to be a better person. I'll start us off with an example of someone who's on the wrong side of history. Follow along, won't you? Let's now move on to a segment near and dear to me, folks, the final call. On this date, February 11th, 2024, Patrol Officer Jonah Hernandez of the Las Cruces Police Department in New Mexico was stabbed to death while responding to a trespassing call at the 300 block of South Valley Drive in Las Cruces. A witness to the stabbing shot the suspect while another witness called 911 for help. Officer Hernandez was transported to Mountain View Regional Medical Center where he died from a knife wound to his neck. The subject had a lengthy criminal record and mental illness. Officer Hernandez had served with the Las Cruces Police Department for 2 years. He was survived by his wife and 2 sons. Also on this date, going back to 1891, Town Marshal George F. Wells, the Junction City Police Department, Kentucky, was shot and killed while attempting to arrest 9 raftsmen who had come into town and caused a disturbance at a local saloon. When Marshal Wells located the men, he attempted to arrest them but was shot several times. All of the men were arrested and charged with connection with the murder. 2 were sentenced to life in prison, and the others were convicted of lesser crimes after assisting the prosecution. Marshal Wells was a Civil War Union veteran and served with the Junction City Police Department for at least 5 years. He was survived by his wife and 6 children. May they both continue to rest in peace. And we'll end, as we always do, with the timeline cleanse. To all those suffering in the cabeza out there, remember to stop, breathe, survive. Take us home, Scott Lebedo. Later, bitches.
American Pie. You know what American Pie is to me? NASCAR. For the last 40-something years, I've been a NASCAR fan. That's right. Man and machine, horsepower. God, I love it. Talk about patriotism. Not just the big Daytona 500, which is coming up. Oh, thank God. But every single NASCAR race is like the 4th of July. The patriotism is out of this, it's just through the stratosphere. A week before that, we had this thing coming up called the Super Bowl. And I would like to address the guy who runs this NFL thing, okay? Because you're losing viewers constantly. Now, the reason that a lot of people keep watching the Super Bowl more and more each year is not because they're watching this woke, feminized sport, politically correct, that you destroyed, and these poor players, great guys, most of them, just real guys, just want to play football. But you destroyed it all. But people are watching it because of the Super Bowl pools, to see where their numbers are. You understand that? And don't give me this Bad Bunny's on there. We brought him in because we want to keep the Latino watchers of the NFL happy. First of all, Mr. Goodell, let me give you a little education here. Latino folks watch soccer, not the NFL, okay? And Bad Bunny is going to be on this stage to divide this country even more, and you know it, because he already got political at the Grammys, and he's going to probably walk out on a dress at this gladiator alpha testosterone-filled event to again, demasculate. That's what you people do. Mr. Goodell, how are you still in that position? Because you have the decision to say, nah, this guy's trouble. This is, look, you screwed up for the last 10 years with the kneeling and you can't put, we could put the 9/11 thing on the helmet, but you could put Black Lives Matter on the helmet, but not the 9/11 people that died. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be watching only to watch my numbers. So the rest of you folks, enjoy it, and I'll see you at the Daytona 500. Gentlemen, start your engines. You can't say gentlemen, because a long time ago there was a lady driver. Yes, I got that. But that awesome lady driver, Danica Patrick, we see her all the time. She's one of us now, a Trump-supporting patriot. But it's just guys now, so we can say gentlemen. See, right away. Hey, he said it's people. Gentlemen, start your fucking engines.
Get him, Jay.
I'm not a cop.
You got DP'd.